Welcome, Titans, to another episode on the Titanium. My friends, the latest patch introduced quite a few changes. First of all, we got a completely new mastery, Forge. On top of that, charms were added, including relics and essences that enhance items, and the entire Embers of Night system was thoroughly reworked. Previously, Embers of Night, this rather specific currency, provided random bonuses. Embers dropped from quests or various activities around the map, so they felt more like a side currency and were quite enigmatic in how they worked. What's worse, they were often bugged. They didn't always drop properly, and at the same time, they were required to achieve 100% game completion. It simply didn't work as it should. Now, however, the developers have taken this system seriously. The Embers mechanic has been completely rebuilt, and most importantly, it's now actually worth farming Embers and worth spending them. To show you how it works, we need to head to the city of Pilgos, the very first city in Act 1. This is where we meet our old acquaintance, the elderly woman associated with Embers. Previously, there was a permanent world quest here that required delivering increasing amounts of Embers. First 1, then 10, then more and more, supposedly up to as many as 150. That quest was always active. Right now, it has been removed from the world quest, but the NPC herself is still here, and ancient Embers are still marked. Why is that? Because we now have a completely new Ember system. We can spend them in a meaningful way, and best of all, we know exactly what we're spending them on. We've been given an entirely new interface window. I'm using a character that farmed a decent amount of Embers while going through the first 2 acts, so we can calmly take a look at how everything works. The window itself looks really nice. The purple color scheme fits the Embers theme perfectly. At the very beginning, as you can see, we have several Embers of Night tiers, exactly 5. To unlock each new tier, we need to spend a specific amount of Embers. Fortunately, I have enough, so we can move higher and check out what items are available. Starting from the beginning, we have the mysterious epic chest, a chest that contains an epic item. And this is a huge change because previously, epic items were mostly obtained through gambling with no guarantee whether you'd get an epic or just a normal item. Here, everything suggests that we're guaranteed an epic. If it really does drop an epic item every time, that's a very fair mechanic. Of course, I don't expect to get perfect items all the time, but the quality guarantee alone makes a massive difference. So we buy the epic chest, quest completed. The game immediately explains how this system works, and we receive Bligent X, a one-handed axe. That's great because I barely had any one-handed axes in my codex. We've got bonuses to poison damage, strike damage, and attack speed. On top of that, there's synergy with summons. Perfect for combining Forge with another mastery. A really nice epic, honestly. Next up, we have an attribute file, which grants an attribute point. I'll admit that on stream I overthought this a bit, but here it's very simple. You use it and immediately get an attribute point. We also have another attribute file, an active file that grants a point to an active skill, and a passive file for a passive skill point. It really looks like all of these are worth picking up because they're just solid upgrades. Next, we get charm pieces. And this is interesting because previously, there really wasn't a way to buy charms like this. Now there is, which is a huge plus. The first charm is Racing Tempest. It increases lightning damage. A great option for helmets and lightning-based builds. I have several characters that will benefit a lot from this. The second charm piece, and once again, Racing Tempest. Interesting. As you can see, we've reached the maximum level of the first tier, so we can move on to tier 2. And here's an important thing. You can't just buy epic chests endlessly. You need to gradually unlock higher tiers by spending Embers earned from quests, side quests, and map activities. In the second tier, we get even better rewards, exactly the kind of rewards we want to go for. Among them are relics. Relics are much rarer than charms, so of course we're buying one. And what do we get? Essence of Sandals of Hermes. This is a tier 1 relic, but it grants increased movement speed and agility. And movement speed in this game is incredibly powerful because it's often hard to come by. A bonus like this can completely change how the game feels to play. We can also buy another charm piece. This time we get Pristine Plumage. It provides agility and poison resistance. Dexterity plus poison resistance is a very solid combination that fits many different builds. We still have some Embers left, so we decide to go for another epic. This time it's the Red Catcher Stick, a one-handed club. I've had this item before, so it's not new to me, but it's still interesting. It offers poison damage, attack speed, and a unique effect, a chance to trigger a poisonous explosion on hit. With dual wielding and fast attacks, this effect can trigger quite often. On top of that, it deals bonus damage to beasts. At the end, I still have a few Embers left, so I grab an active file. An extra active skill point is always useful, and that's how the new Ember system works. With each new tier, we unlock new rewards and new ways to spend this currency. The item pool within a tier probably doesn't change, but as you progress, you gain access to more epic chests, attribute points, passive skills, active skills, charms, and relics. This is a really great change. Thanks to it, farming Embers now actually makes sense, and spending them at this NPC feels rewarding. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next videos.